This is Steve Anthony with another episode of The Deep Dive. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us get these truths out there to everyone and make a difference.
Yep, we take the golden nuggets out of the material and give you the core principles, and we talk about it and find the overall message that you can take from it and apply it to your life or not. It's up to you. We talk about it, you listen, and take it or leave it.
Today, we're embarking on something pretty audacious, I think.
Definitely.
We're going deep, not just about God, but into a direct, kind of unfiltered conversation with God. Or at least as presented in our source.
Yeah, it's not your standard theological chat. It's raw, it challenges, well, pretty much everything.
So what are we working with today?
Our main source is Conversations with God, Book 2. It's amazing stuff captures these discussions between the author, Neale Donald Walsch, and what he identifies as God.
Right. And there are insights woven in from others, too, like Marianne Williamson.
Exactly, and Raymond Moody as well, spiritual thinkers reflecting on these core ideas.
Okay, so our mission here is to unpack all this. We want to distill these, well, profound insights about God, reality, relationships, society, even consciousness itself.
And give you actionable stuff, right? Surprising facts, different perspectives.
Yeah, so you walk away feeling well-informed on some massive questions. Straight from the source, as it were.
Let's do it.
Okay, so kicking things off, the whole premise is pretty unusual. Neale Donald Walsch says this started from an angry letter he wrote.
Yeah, apparently he was just pouring out his frustrations, asking God, why my life had become such a monument to struggle and failure. Pretty intense.
And then he gets an answer, like directly.
That's what he describes. He'd write a question down and the answer would just form in his head. He said it was like someone whispering in his ear. He was essentially taking dictation.
Wow. But the source says this isn't just his special thing.
No, not at all. It emphasizes this kind of dialogue is happening all the time for everyone.
So why aren't we all hearing it then, if it's constant?
Good question. The book explains God is never not with you, always present, but we're the ones who are unaware.
How?
We're too caught up in other things. Specifically, it says our physical life takes precedence over our connection to our soul. Our attention is just elsewhere.
Okay. And this leads to a really fundamental concept in the book, doesn't it? The idea about evil.
Yeah, this is a big one. The source flat out states there is no evil.
No evil at all.
God describes existence as this perfect state of being, like a seedling or an infant just being. The concepts of wrong or evil, according to this dialogue, are human mental constructions, things we invented.
Wow. That flips so much traditional thinking upside down.
It really does. And it ties into God's will, too. The source says God's will isn't about punishment at all.
So what is it about then?
Free choice.
Yeah.
Purely free choice. It openly questions those common religious ideas, the vengeful God or a devil out there tempting us.
It makes you rethink the whole fear aspect in religion.
Absolutely. And it paints a picture of God's realm as the absolute.
The absolute. What does that mean exactly?
It's hard for our earthly minds to grasp, apparently. It's a state where things exist independently, not in relation to each other. A realm where all there is love.
Just love.
And, crucially, after we die, the source says, there are no consequences to anything you think, say, or do on earth.
No consequences, like no judgment.
Seems like it. More like pure knowing, understanding, not reward or punishment.
Okay, that's a lot to take in already. And this understanding of God then feeds into how the source views time and space, right?
Yeah, completely. The core idea is, well, it's radical. There is no time but this time. There is no moment but this moment. Now is all there is.
Now is all there is. I've heard that phrase, but what does it mean here?
Well, the book explains time isn't like a river flowing horizontally, a continuum.
Yeah.
Instead, it's described as an element of relativity that exists vertically. Think of it like leaves of paper on a spindle, one stacked on top of the other.
So all moments exist simultaneously.
Exactly. All happening right now, stacked up. And this, the source says, is why we have experiences like deja vu.
Ah, okay, so that feeling.
It's because you've been here before, maybe in a dream, maybe just shifting consciousness. The book says we routinely time travel in dreams.
Time travel in dreams. Wow. And what about old souls? Is that a thing in this view?
The source challenges that directly. God says nothing is older than anything.
So old soul doesn't mean you've lived longer?
Nope. It refers to levels of awareness, not how long you've existed in linear time, which kind of changes how you might see your own spiritual path, doesn't it?
It really does. So if that's time, what about space?
Space is described as time demonstrated, and get this, pure empty space doesn't really exist.
It doesn't. What's there then?
Energy, vibration, even antimatter. It's constantly active.
That sounds actually kind of familiar, like scientifically.
It aligns remarkably well with modern physics, yeah. Einstein's relativity, the whole space-time continuum idea, it makes you wonder if science is just catching up, you know?
Totally. So our way of measuring time, days, years.
It's arbitrary, according to the source, just based on how we move through this energetic space.
Okay, and here's the part that really bends my mind.
Let me guess. Everything happening now.
Yes. Everything that's ever happened and is ever going to happen is happening now. The ability to observe it merely depends on your point of view, your place in space. What does that even mean for, like, free will?
Good question. The source actually says this understanding should enhance your ability to live the life you want, not limit it.
How so?
If you can perceive a potential future you don't want, you have the power in the now to step away from it. Change your behavior now, and you shift your experience of that timeline.
So you're not logged in. You're choosing your path through the now.
That seems to be the idea. It's empowering, really.
Okay, wow. Let's maybe shift gears a bit. If those concepts were heavy, the source's take on human relationships with God and ourselves, it doesn't hold back, does it? Especially on theology.
Not at all. God, in this dialogue, challenges human theologies pretty fiercely, calls them insane if they paint God as ego-driven, vengeful, or needing worship.
Insane is a strong word. What kind of things does it point to?
Well, it discusses specific constructs, like the difference between mortal sin, murder, rape, and venial sin.
Like missing church.
Or, yeah, before the 60s, eating meat on Friday. It also brings up things like purgatory or limbo for babies who weren't baptized.
Right, the emphasis on confession, fear.
Exactly, and God directly questions logic, like, this God of yours sent you to purgatory if you ate meat on Friday.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Or asking about an innocent child who doesn't know the rules, goes to limbo.
Yeah.
It leads to this really provocative statement in the book: the only way human theologies make sense is if we accept a God who makes no sense at all.
Oof. That really forces you to examine your own beliefs, where they came from.
And that critique clears the ground for a core principle: living your truth now in the present.
How does it phrase that?
It says, life is an echoing process of creation. And here's a key bit. A secret of all masters is to stop changing one's mind. Keep choosing the same thing. Don't take no for an answer.
So unwavering focus on your highest vision.
Yes, and being here now,
Mhm.
consciously choosing to create who you are rather than reenact who you once were, letting go of the past baggage.
And there's a powerful tip in there for you, the listener, right? About feelings.
Absolutely. In a world that overthinks everything, the source says, feelings are your truth.
Not thoughts.
No, thoughts are described as just ideas of how you should feel. To find your truth, the advice is stark. Be out of your mind and get back to your senses. Feel it. Don't just think it.
Get back to your senses. I like that. This also connects to self-love and desire, doesn't it? Challenging guilt.
Big time. It tackles the societal guilt around personal gratification head on. Things like sex, money, power, fame, success, even just winning.
Things we're often taught to feel bad about wanting.
Exactly. And God's response in the book is blunt. It's all right to love sex. It's also all right to love yourself. In fact, it's mandatory.
Mandatory self-love.
Wow. And the feeling itself is key. Feeling good is the soul's way of shouting, this is who I am. Joy isn't selfish. It's a signal from your soul.
But there's a nuance there. Right.
Yeah.
It's not just about hedonism.
Right. The book clarifies self-regulation is not self-denial.
That's the difference.
True evolution isn't about denying yourself pleasure out of guilt. It's about fully granting yourself those pleasures, experiencing them, and then naturally finding something even greater, something you desire more. You move beyond them, not suppress them.
Ah, okay. So it's a natural transcendence.
Yeah. And it connects to oneness, too, because when you come from we are all one, it is virtually impossible to find that hurting another feels good. True pleasure aligns with collective well-being.
That makes sense. Okay, let's dive into a section that always sparks conversation. Sexuality.
Right. The source starts by framing it as fundamental to creation.
How so?
It says God created two sexes as the highest living expression of yin and yang, essential for experiencing life's duality, hot, cold, big, small, matter, antimatter. Sex is part of the basic structure of experiencing reality.
Wow, okay. So how should we approach sexual energy then, according to this?
The list is pretty amazing, actually. It says use it. lovingly, openly, playfully, joyfully, outrageously, passionately, sacredly, romantically, humorously, spontaneously, touchingly, creatively, unabashedly, sensually.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
And of course, frequently. It directly pushes back against the idea that sex is only for procreation, calls that view naive.
Okay. And it talks about the energy behind attraction too, right?
Yes, the synergistic energy exchange. It describes everyone emitting energy, creating this sort of matrix of intertwining, interwoven personal vibes.
Like an energy field around us.
Kind of. And when two people are attracted, it uses this Tom and Mary example.
Tom and Mary.
Yeah. The idea is their energies meet midway between them and actually blend to form a new shared energy unit. They call it Tamari.
Co-Mary. Okay.
And this new Tamari energy is what pulls them together physically. They're drawn to meld with Tamari to become Tamari in physical form.
There's a very different way of thinking about attraction.
It is, and the union itself is described as knowing the god and the goddess, a merging of divine masculine and feminine energy. Pretty profound.
And this relates to the law of attraction stuff too.
Directly. Like attracts like. It suggests our collective thoughts, our collective energy can genuinely shape physical reality.
So, shifting slightly, what about children and sexuality?
Yeah.
This is often a tricky area.
The source is very clear. Children are aware of themselves as sexual beings from birth.
From birth.
Yes. The problem, it says, isn't the child's awareness, it's society trying to discourage and deny it. That's what leads to sexual taboos, inhibitions, and hang-ups. We project our issues onto them.
So what would an enlightened society look like in this regard?
Well, the book says in such societies, naked bodies, sexual functions, they're seen as totally natural, totally wonderful, and totally okay.
No shame, no hiding.
Exactly. And it even suggests that parents coupling openly could give children a greater sense of the beauty and the wonder of the sexual expression of love.
That's quite countercultural to how many of us were raised. What's the advice for parents then when you talk about it?
The advice is simple. They will tell you when the time has come, kids will ask. But the key prerequisite, parents have to deal with their own unfinished business about sex first.
Deal with your own stuff before you can guide them. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What about the idea of too much sex? Is that a concern?
The source says no such thing as too much sex.
Really?
But it says there is too much of a need for sex. The goal isn't endless chasing. It's enjoy everything, need nothing.
Enjoy, don't need. That applies to people too, it says.
Absolutely. Enjoy connection. Don't become needy or possessive.
Okay. And one more point here. Consensual adult sex. Is anything okay?
The answer given is yes. If two conditions are met, it causes no hurt to another, and it's done with agreement and permission. Consent and non-harm are key.
And this applies across the board. Kinky sex, loveless sex.
Yeah. It discusses kinky sex, fine if consensual and harmless. Loveless sex, maybe you miss out on a deeper experience, but it's not judged as inherently wrong.
And gay sex.
Zero judgment from God, according to the source. It likens societal judgments against gay sex to, historical views on interracial marriage, just human prejudice, not divine law.
Wow. Okay. Powerful stuff on a personal level. Let's zoom out now to the bigger picture. Society, government, global consciousness. How does the source see the state of the world?
Well, it doesn't mince words. It calls the world's condition a reflection of the total combined consciousness of everyone living there.
And how does it describe that consciousness?
Primitive.
Primitive. Ouch. Any specific critiques?
Yeah, it points to rugged individualism, particularly in the U.S., suggesting it's eroded brotherly love and compassion. We've become too separate.
And societal problems stem from?
Misplaced desire. Basically, somebody has something that somebody else wants. Greed, envy, inequality, they drive conflict.
And education plays a role in this primitive state.
A huge role. God says humans are ignoring wisdom in favor of knowledge.
Wisdom versus knowledge.
Yeah.
What's the difference here?
Schools, the source argues, teach what to think. Facts, figures, often biased histories. Like the official justifications for dropping the atom bombs on Japan, or history written primarily by white Anglo-Saxon Protestant males, which leaves out a lot of perspectives.
Right. So instead of what to think,
we should be teaching how to think. Critical thinking, problem-solving, logic, creativity.
a completely different focus.
Totally. The source advocates for a new curriculum based on awareness, honesty, responsibility, teaching concepts, not subjects. It even mentions Waldorf schools as a model for more holistic development.
A radical rethink of education. And this critique extends to government and economics too, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The source claims governments often deliberately mislead their people.
Why would they do that?
Through deception, it says, because few people would choose to be governed the way they're governed if they knew the whole truth. The political machine often runs on self-interest.
People in power convincing us their interests are ours.
That's the idea presented, and it connects directly to economics.
How so?
Scathing critique of economic exploitation. Rich industrialists paying substandard, if not to say subhuman, wages in developing countries, calling it opportunity.
Yeah.
While, corporate executives get obscene bonuses when millions can't afford basics. It also highlights ongoing discrimination. Women paid less, housing bias as proof the system isn't just.
So it paints a pretty bleak picture of the current systems.
Yeah.
What's the proposed solution then? For world peace, a new social order.
There's a short-term and a long-term answer proposed.
Okay, what's the short term?
Pragmatically, a one-world government with a world court to settle disputes and a global peacekeeping force.
Ambitious, but practical maybe? And the long term?
That's the deeper shift, a new awareness and a new consciousness, specifically an awareness of oneness and a consciousness of love, changing how we fundamentally see ourselves and each other.
Back to that oneness theme.
Yeah.
And economically.
A massive reallocation. Take the $1 trillion a year spent globally on military and shift it to humanitarian purposes. The source claims this would be enough to guarantee basic needs for everyone on Earth.
Basic needs like food, shelter, healthcare.
Yes, food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, guaranteed for all.
Even if they do nothing to earn it. That's a controversial idea.
Very. But the source asserts it as a basic right of life. It challenges us to resist the urge to judge the lazy ones by cultivating compassion, realizing that people who don't contribute are actually missing out on the glory of experiencing the highest idea of who they really are. Their loss is internal.
So the incentive for greatness changes. It's not about getting stuff.
Exactly. The incentive becomes the experience of magnificence itself. Doing great things because it feels amazing, because it expresses who you are.
The goal is equal opportunity then, not everyone being the same.
Precisely. Not equality, in fact, but a level playing field. And interestingly, it suggests the U.S. Constitution's balance of powers was actually God-inspired.
Really?
Yeah, and proposes a similar model could work for a new world constitution.
It also mentions specific leaders, right? Bush Sr., Gorbachev, Carter.
It does. Notes they had global vision but faced rejection at home because their vision was miles ahead of their people.
So leaders need to connect better.
Yeah, it talks about governing in poetry, like Reagan maybe did, capturing imagination, rather than just prose, like Mario Cuomo, perhaps more intellectual but less inspiring to the masses at the time.
And shifting the focus of governance itself.
Towards humanitarian questions rather than economic questions, a fundamental values shift.
Okay, bringing this all towards a conclusion.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the grand vision and our personal power in all this. What's the absolute core problem identified?
It comes back again and again, our insistence that we are separate from each other, this feeling of separation.
And that's an illusion.
An optical illusion of consciousness is how the source puts it. The biggest enemy humankind faces.
So what's the solution? How do we fix this illusion?
The instruction is clear. Abandon the concept of separation. Adopt the concept of visibility.
Visibility.
See the divine in everyone. See the connection. Never see yourself again as separate from one another. And never see yourself as separate from me, God.
And be honest.
Yes. Tell the truth to everyone all the time, starting with yourself. Because ultimately, what you do to others, you do to yourself. That's the mechanism of oneness.
Okay. Now, there's another really fascinating point raised towards the end about extraterrestrials.
Ah, yes. The source flatly affirms their existence. Intelligent life, some far more advanced than us.
And they're involved with us.
They gently assist humanity, it says, providing a boost now and then.
A boost? In what way?
Both technologically, it mentions things like CAT scans, supersonic flight, computer chips as examples where we might have received subtle help.
Wow.
And spiritually, too. Every day, new ideas, new thoughts, new concepts are being placed in front of you. A continuous, gentle nudging.
But why don't they just show up? Land on the White House lawn?
Because their purpose is to foster, not force, wisdom. God states, wisdom which comes from within is not nearly so easily discarded as wisdom which comes from another. We have to own it.
Makes sense. What about scary aliens? Malevolent beings?
The reassurance is you are being protected, but also a reminder. What you think is what you get. What you fear is what you will draw to you. Our consciousness shapes our reality, even with potential threats.
Focus on the positive, on connection, not fear.
That seems to be the constant message. And it all leads back to embracing the divine dichotomy.
The divine dichotomy.
Let's try that again.
It's the paradox that everything that ever was, is now, and ever will be exists right now. All potentials are present, and yet all that is constantly changing.
So things both are and are not fixed.
Exactly. That which is not in a static sense. Understanding this paradox is apparently key to grasping the grand plan.
And the purpose of life within that plan. According to God in the book, it's for God to experience being who and what I am. We, humanity, are the way God experiences divinity in form. Without you, I can know it, but not experience it.
So our job, our work,
is to place into our physical reality the highest thoughts that we already hold, to manifest the divine potential that's already within us.
we're co-creators in God's experience.
That's the essence of it, which leads to a powerful call to action.
Which is
Return to spirituality. Forget about religion.
spirituality over religion. Shed the dogma, connect directly.
Yes. And recognize God's greatest gift isn't rules, but the sharing of God's power.
Because we're made.
In the image and likeness of God, we're meant to step into that power, fulfill that potential.
So the final instruction is,
Cause your days and nights to be reflections of the highest idea within you. And be a light onto the darkness and curse it not. Be a bringer of the light.
choose creation over complaint.
Exactly. The source actually ends Book 2 on a very optimistic note. It says the tools are available now for a genuine revolution in consciousness. Everyone has the potential to be a visionary.
So the ultimate message is about bringing spirit into the world.
Precisely, making it visible in our own lives, and through that, helping make it visible in everyone else's life too.
Wow. That's quite a journey through this book. So if we had to leave our listeners with one final provocative thought from all this.
Maybe it's this. The book suggests that in the absolute realm, where all is love, maybe nothing matters in the way we usually think. But because of that,
Paradoxically.
in this relative experience, everything matters. Every choice, every thought, every feeling you have isn't just about you. It's actively shaping that constantly shifting mosaic of reality for everyone.
Because we're not separate.
Because we're not separate. So the question isn't just what reality is, but what reality will you choose to create next, right now?
A powerful question to sit with. We definitely encourage you, our listeners, to continue your own deep dives into these incredibly profound ideas.